Hi everybody, Dave's my name. I'm sending you this video because you've applied for work with me lately and I couldn't appoint you for a job that was in WA. Your CV suggested and clearly showed that you were not in Western Australia, not in Australia. So let's talk about how to get the working rights and what it takes to get into the West Australian mining scene. First of all, you've really got to be here. How to get here is to be an Australian citizen or resident or a New Zealand citizen and resident. Those people have got full 100% complete working rights. Otherwise, if you're coming across on a working holiday visa, most of the time I see a 417. So let's put some info up on the board. It's a working holiday visa, a 417 or a 486, I think is the other code for that one. You can get a partnership visa, you can be sponsored. Sponsorship is very tricky in my world, but we can talk about that in a minute. So working holiday visa, 417 is the one you want. Someone like myself is always going to ask you for a FIFO check. So it's a FIFO check. It proves to people like me when your current work rights run out. So you've got a working holiday visa, you're now standing in Australia at the Perth airport. Great. You need to have a resume. A readable CV. A resume CV, it's all about presenting yourself as an experienced worker to be appointed to the job. The competition for the West Australian mining scene job vacancies is huge, so you've got to be presentable on paper. Coming to an interview is great, but getting through the computer is the first thing. You're going to need some qualifications. Alright, so let's go a bit of everything. So you're going to need a tax file number, a TFN. You apply for that in Australia. You're geo-blocked, so you can't apply for that type of thing when you're not in Australia. You're also going to need a bank account to receive your money to. Bank account. Now let's get some qualifications. In my world, a white card shows that you've been trained to read the signs in English on when to put on your hard hat and your boots and your eyewear. So it's a white card. A white card or a construction industry card is about, let's say, $50. After that, a lot of mine sites want to know that you've been trained for gas testing and atmosphere for noxious gases, working in a confined space that is a small little area that has one source of fresh air to it. And I think when you're in a hole or in a little gap that is more than 60 centimetres away from a fresh air source, you're in a confined spaces. And the other one is working at heights. That's showing that you've been trained to use 3 points of contact as you climb a ladder. It's just sensibility when you're working at a height. So a lot of these times these tickets are bundled in a group. So it's a confined spaces, working at heights, and a gas testing atmospheres. The cost on those ones there is, in that little group bundled together, I'm going to say $300. This white card here is a half-a-day course. The confined spaces, working heights and gas testing atmospheres is often a whole day worth of learning. So to be versatile on a site, maybe you're even a mechanical fitter, great, but they need to know that you are versatile. So having a forklift license on your high-risk work license is very important. So high-risk work license, and the code for a forklift is an LF code. My one cost me $300. Just to show that you are trained and safe on a forklift. Experience is king. So if you're on a forklift job, if you want a forklift job, having the forklift code is not enough. Seat time is important because forklifts cost $60,000, $70,000 in Australia. We need to know that you're going to be safe using it and you're not going to break a $70,000 machine. Experience is king. So that's some of the basics. There's more. Maybe you want to be a rigger on your high-risk work license. You can get training for a basic rigger. That's called a RB, or a rigger intermediate, RI, or rigger advanced rigger, RA. They cost money, and there's a bit of book work to do there, and time goes with those ones. I'm going to roughly guess on this one here, probably, let's go with $1,000. So it's taken training to get noticed. Experience is king to be appointed for the job, and it costs money to join in. You're also going to want some PPE, personal protective equipment. We call that. A lot of the time, companies will give you the basics: the shirt, the pants, the eyewear, the hard hat. The expensive part is the boots. In Australia, steel cap boots that meet the Australian standards are going to be $150. You can see where I'm going with this. Everything's adding up, and you haven't even arrived yet. So it's all about paperwork. Find the right visa that suits you. That's the common one. That's the other code that I see a fair bit. Prove that your work rights are legitimate. Have a good resume. Have a tax file number so the government can tax you. Have a bank account so you can receive your money. Definitely get a white card. It is the minimum. A very simple course, but it's the minimum. Confined spaces, working at heights, gas testing atmospheres, I absolutely recommend for everybody. Tradespeople, boiler makers, machine operators, they get up on a height. They might get into a small area and might need to test for noxious gases to make sure it's safe to get into that area, and training to go into a confined space. A high-risk work license with a forklift code shows that you're versatile and you can, things on mine sites are heavy, so you can lift with the forklift safely. Perhaps you're a rigger, you could be a scaffolder, you could be a crane operator. There are a lot of different avenues you can go down there. I just talked about the rigging. There's a lot there. Maybe I can put a little graphic up at the end of the back of my high-risk work license card. It shows all the codes. And then after that, definitely buy yourself some appropriate boots that are to Australian standards. So good luck in your journey. Sorry I couldn't help you out with the employment opportunity to start with, but being in Australia and being in Perth is definitely the place to be. The mining scene is booming, but the competition for the jobs is huge. So good luck on your journey.